Secretly, the hardest part about running an 8-player cube draft is getting 7 other people to show up at the same time. Now you don't have to. So we tried back in the day. We used to try booster drafting by passing the packs one by one via the forums, and it just took way too long. This one started on July 9th and went until August 6th. And sure, you can blame the guy who lives in a dumb time zone, but really it's just the nature of the format. In booster drafting, you have to pass the cards 42 times, which is a lot when you're not all at the same table. So I brainstormed a format where you pass the cards 8 times. I'll show you how it works. So at the start of the draft, each player gets their full allotment of 45 cards. And the way they get it is in one row of 9, one row of 8, all the way down until a row of 1. And so the way that you draft is you have to take one card from each row. That's it. I thought it was so much fun to just look through here and kind of find the different archetypes that you could dig out of this triangle. And it turns out that this format is really fun to do like P1, P1 drafting or P1, P1 through 9. I don't know. I don't know how you call it. But it had some real issues as a multiplayer draft format. More than half your deck actually comes from picks you made from rows with 1, 2, or 3 cards. And this problem largely goes away if you change the shape from a triangle to a rectangle. In rectangle drafting, each player starts with 5 rows of 9 cards, and the way you draft is by taking one card from each row and passing the rest to the next player. Now, one of the things we learned in testing is that when you're taking 5 cards at a time, you don't want to find out late, say pack 4, that you're being cut off from a color. So what I did was randomize the rows in a way that each row contains at least one monocolor card of each color. So one white card, one blue card, etc. And you can see this in practice where if I open my second rectangle, you can already see that there are multiple rows that don't have a white card in it. So I can react very quickly to the signal being sent. I like to think of rectangle drafting as the perfect coffee drinkers format. It's really fun to sit down for, say, 20 minutes and just mull over all the combinations of things that you could draft. Here we're drafting the Penny Pincher 2.0 Inventor's Fair Cube, and it's just a brilliantly designed, wonderfully overlapped, low-power budget cube. And in my draft, I started by taking this build around here, Drakehaven, which rewards you for cycling and discarding. And I did that because in the same pack we have 2 blue creatures on color, which are discard outlets for interacting here. And both of these creatures are evasive, potentially. So evasion pairs well with ninjutsu, which brought me to this pick. And then once I had that, I wanted the blue-black bounce land to round it all out. Here are the picks that I took in the first 4 packs. And one thing that started to come together was the bounce land untap interaction. So we had Snap and Frantic Search, and these can both kind of let you cheat on mana by untapping the bounce lands. And it brought me to a really interesting fork in the road moment in pack 5. I could either choose to take another blue-red land to open up the red splash, because clearly red is open here, or I could take this Trinket Mage, and there are actually 1, 2, 3, 4 Trinket Mage targets within this pack, and I went with the Trinket Mage line. I don't know if it's correct, but I think this is kind of the really fun tension that you get in this format where you can see two branching paths ahead of you and you have to commit to one. And I don't know if I did it correctly, but I had fun doing it. All told, I'm really happy with how the format turned out. I think the decks are pretty much on par with what you would expect from booster drafting, and I found the drafting to be a lot of fun, but don't just take my word for it. Let's see what the suck-ups on Discord had to say. The signaling worked. I had the ability to pivot. G'day, mate! And so on. Thank you for watching. If you need help setting up a rectangle draft, you can send me a PM. And for the rest, have a nice day.